Hello, welcome back to Scale Milling Cafe. Welcome to this week's update. A little bit later than I wanted to, but I've been on a bit of a roll with the Spitfire. More of that in a moment. What's been going on the channel then is last week was my 2025 preview. And in that video, I just go through some of the aims, really, of the channel in the coming year. How am I going to tweak things? A few little changes to the format of some of the videos, some of the build videos. I actually quite enjoyed doing the JP in just 2 episodes with the intro and the sort of summary wash up at the end of, or intro at the beginning of episode 1 and the debrief at the end of the second video. And I quite like that. So I think I'll continue doing more of those. If it's a simple project, very quick, like the JP was, and it doesn't warrant doing the full standard kind of 4 or 5 episode format that I tend to do, then I'm going to do more of those. I'm also going to do more models just for me. The editing does take quite a long time, and yeah, I don't really enjoy the editing. It's okay once I get in a roll, but it does take away from bench time. And it does lower the output somewhat. So what I'm going to do is not too many, but just some projects that I'm not going to video. But what I will do is I will do some more maybe in-depth, in progress kind of chats, and definitely do like a wash-up debrief like I've done with a couple of the projects. So I've done a few of those before, and I'm going to do a few more of those. Just normally just simple quick ones. I've also got some projects for publication coming, so I won't be able to video those, but I'll do a similar sort of thing. So that's the few little sort of tweaks, but it's I go into all sorts of things in that video. So if you've not seen it and you want to know what's coming in 2025, including some projects, then go and check that out. Right, talking of project, oh sorry, what I should say is yeah, so this project here, the Spitfire, I'll have a quick dip on that in a moment, but I'm not going to start releasing those until they're finished, pretty much. And that way I can do a thumbnail of the project as the kind of title. And then hopefully that'll get some more viewers if it sort of crops up. That's going to be the plan. So no modelling content as per, so modelling project content for a few weeks. And as soon as I'm able to, I'll start editing. So that's going to be the plan on that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to bring you some reviews. I've got reviews of this, the Laminar Flow Design Spitfire. I've got the Mk14 Spitfire from Laminar Flow Designs, that conversion to bring you. And I've got a couple of books to bring you as well. So there'll be modelling content going out. It just won't be actual whittling, as it were. Now, talking of whittling, here is the first of the Spitfire Mk14s, and as you can see, it's pretty much ready for primer. Just a few little bits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it into primer, and then I'm going to do all the undercarriage for both models, because if you don't know, obviously this is the high back one. The other one's going to be the bubble top. I'm going to get both into primer, and then I can have a lot of fun getting those painted and weathered, because that is the best bit, let's face it, rather than getting bogged down in all the dangly bits at the end, which, you know, is a bit of a mojo crusher, I find. But there we go. So last week I was in the middle of doing the cockpit. The cockpit's now finished. I'll put some high-res pictures up for you. Lots of extra detail in there from Barracuda Studios and Laminar Flow Designs. Matthew, you can actually buy an extra 3D printed set for that, and that corrects some elements in the cockpit. You know, stuff to go from the Mk8-9 into the Mk16. There are a few other bits and pieces. Managed to lose the throttle, the one with the gyro gun sight, which was a bit of a pain, but luckily Barracuda to the rescue, and I used the Barracuda gun sight on that, and jolly nice it is too. What I didn't do is I didn't use the Barracuda seat in this one. I've got two, but I'd bought the HGW. Was it HGW? Yeah, I think it was. I can't remember. Who was it now? Or it might have been Edward. No, I think it was HGW. Late Spitfire harness. And I wanted to give that a go. And obviously the Barracuda, even though it's beautifully moulded, has the earlier seat harness in. So, and I thought, I just fancy using the photo etch and see how that looks. And it looks nice. In hindsight, though, I think the Barracuda seat is better. The only other thing about the Barracuda seat is it doesn't have the four supports that go attached behind it on it. So you have to scratch build those, which can be a bit of a pain, especially because you've got to line up the holes for the seat armour, and it can be a bit of a faff. So yeah, just a little bit more complicated, but I'm probably going to use that. It's all painted. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to probably use that on the bubble top. Lots of wiring that's gone on in the cockpit here. Some of it is accurate, some of it isn't. I did have some references. I was trying to follow it, but it's just a bit of a snake's wedding when it comes to cables and wires and things like that. So there's a few sort of fictional ones because I've simplified it all. And a lot of it down in the bottom half, you can't really see it that much anyway. But with the extra bits in the Barracuda set, it really makes it really busy, especially on that right-hand cockpit sidewall, which is a bit of a focal point. So cockpits are a focal point of aeroplane models, but when you look at it, people tend to look at it from the left because that's where pilots get in and out. And I suppose it's aesthetically most pleasing. So with that end, you're kind of looking into the cockpit that way, and that's where it's really busy on that wall. I think without the Barracuda set, these things look really bland, actually. So, yeah, that was well worth doing. Anyway, a lot of work, especially doing the decals, because you get a full set of stencil data with the Barracuda set. And, yeah, but it makes a massive difference, actually, and well worth doing it. Right, construction then. As you saw last time, I'd already cut the nose off. I'd actually made a bit of a faux pas, and I'd cut this forward panel off as well. So I raked that fuselage off, which is a right pain. Luckily, I got another set of fuselage sprues with me. So quickly grabbed the fuselage from that and made the relevant cuts. Right, putting this together then. I've cocked up a little bit. Nothing to do with Laminar Flow Designs, just me and the Edward bits. And I, for some reason, I got the wings misaligned. And there's cutouts in the wheel wells for the strengthening ribs, and they don't line up. They're about 1/2 mil out and on the left-hand wing, and I don't know why. Just a bit bizarre. And things didn't quite match up. I think what I've done is, in order to close the wing to fuselage join, I've kind of skewed things off a bit, I think, but that's that. Anyway, the order I did this then, so I joined the fuselage halves. I then put the nose on. Before I put the nose on, so I did follow Matthew's instructions. I put the carburetor intake on, and then I put the little air scoop thing on the top. Did that first, then put the nose on, and it fits really quite nicely. With the super glue applicator thing, you can get right in there, glued it all up with super glue, and just held it in place. You might be able to see, well, you will be able to see in the photos, there's a bit of filler there. That's just hairline gaps. All I'm doing is there's no real gap there. I'm just kind of sealing things in. And so the fit was really, really nice. Put the tail on. Right, so the tail planes. What Matthew says is glue the tail planes all up. So it's a one-piece elevator. Glue that to the tail planes, two separate tail planes, and then glue that assembly onto the top, and then put the fin on top. So I did that. Now I always struggle with these parts. There's two parts from the kit that sort of fill in the gap. They sort of join in at the back of the elevator, but they didn't fit, and I tried chopping them up and made a bit of a mess of it, and I'm pretty sure it's my fault. I always struggle with those bits on Spitfire models. I don't know why, I always do. So there's a bit of filler in there, and it's all a bit of a pain. But anyway, managed it. Then gluing the wings to the fuselage. So what Matthew recommends is put the lower wing part on, glue that in, and then glue the top wings on top. That's great, but don't do what I did and forget the wing spar. In fact, I would recommend you build up the wheel well, and you build that lower wing first, then put it on, and then all you got to do is just put the upper wings on. What I did is I completely forgot, and then had to build the wheel wells in situ, which was a right pain, including putting the forward strengthening beam thing on, and that was a right pain. Anyway, managed it in the end, and then yeah, struggled a little bit with the wings for some reason. I don't know why, just didn't line up properly. But anyway, got it in. Extended wingtips, as you can see. Master barrels have gone on. The spinner is the magnet, if you didn't see that. Canopies, the windscreen and the rear bit is all done, and then I've cut down the bubble canopy that I'm not going to use. That's from the closed canopy, and I just cut the rear section off, filed this down, and then that's just bunged on with blue tack, masking the opening. And she's pretty much ready. Oh, I forgot about the radiators. So the radiators, yeah, a bit of a fiddle. Fit is okay, just a few gaps to deal with. Not much, just a bit of Mr. Plastic Putty. Just put in there, let it dry. Wet cotton bud, and then Mr. Surfacer over the top. So that's done. All I've got to do now is just the light here, and she is ready for primer. So I'll be doing the light tomorrow, probably a coat of primer, and then I'm going to put this aside, and then it will be onto the bubble top. And looking forward to that. But yeah, what? Oh, come on, shave off. That is a lovely looking aeroplane, is it not? Yeah, brilliant. So really excited about how that is turning out. Now I've got the battery is flashing at me, so that's a pain. So let's quickly run on to the news, because there's a little bit to talk about. Today Revell announced or rather it appeared on ScaleMates, a Sea Hurricane 2C in 32nd scale. Their Hurricane in 32nd scale, the Mark II, is widely regarded, and really nice to see a Sea Hurricane version. AMP have announced a Cambra in 72nd scale. It's going to be limited run. I think they are a limited run company, so probably need a little bit of work. But you know, it's about time we saw a new tool, Cambra. So like a modern mainstream click fit, nice to assemble, highly detailed, state of the art would be lovely. But until that, AMPs. There we go. Right, some bits coming out of Hobby Boss 72nd scale. They've yet again announced the Devastator in 72nd scale. I've got good vibes that we might see that actually, and the 48th one is supposed to be brilliant. Really looking forward to the 72nd one though. Are we going to see it this year? Who knows? It's Hobby Boss, Trumpeter. They announced loads of stuff and only some of it appears. Also a C-48 Skytrain. So I thought a Skytrain was like a Dakota, which is a C-47. So I don't know what the C-48 is, but anyway, that might be a typo, or it might be a different aeroplane that's coming along. But there we go. In 48 scale, a whole load of FW190As. I think they've been announced previously as well. And 109Es. And also some F-35s or something in 48 scale. So that is them. Right. One more to talk about, and that is Airfix. Airfix, I think it's Tuesday, is it? So what's today? Saturday today. Tuesday is their big announcement. 2025 new tool releases. I very much suspect we're going to get maybe 2, 3 or 4 mainstream releases announced, and then they're going to keep their powder dry, and there's going to be some other stuff coming in the summer. or I say summer, complete guess. Who knows? Maybe November, just in time for Telford. But there'll be other announcements through year. I'm absolutely convinced. They did have a picture of a statue of a like this kind of shape. I put that up on my Facebook. Lots of different various guesses. The statue looks very communist to me, so I'm wondering if it's something Soviet. But then someone said it was to do with Le Mans. And in Le Mans, a Jaguar raced at Le Mans, so it might be a Jaguar. I mean, I think that's a bit tenuous, but might be. Who knows? I know lots of people mention the 48 scale Jaguar all the time, and it never seems to arrive. Maybe 2025 is the year of the 48th Jag. Who knows? Look, I don't have any insider information. I know some of the guys at Airfix. I know some of them really quite well. First of all, I'd never asked them because I didn't, I know what the answer is going to be anyway, and I don't want to embarrass them by asking anyway, and they wouldn't tell me anyway. So I don't have any insider information. Even if I did, I still wouldn't say anything, because I'm not that guy. So a guess of 48 scale Jaguar was in relation to that statue. I think that's a bit tenuous myself. They've got to do it at some stage, haven't they? So maybe 2025 is the year. Who knows? Who knows? To be honest, I really wish they wouldn't do these teasers because someone's going to guess it. I just wish they wouldn't do anything. No teasers, nothing. We got a date and we got a time. Stick to that and let's see what it is. All right? Because I want the surprise. Every time the missus was pregnant, she always wanted to know what flavour of baby it was. And I didn't. I wanted to wait for the surprise. She likes to be organised, and she goes, oh yeah, but we can organise everything. I said, no, let's just wait. And then we did, and she always thanked me every single time. And with Airfix, it's the same. I don't want any teasers. I don't want any surprises. I don't want to know in advance. I want to find out, even though I'm very excited and I can't wait. I'm going to have to wait, and the excitement is building. There you go. I'll use their little tagline. So what I'm going to do is, when that's announced, I shall be watching it live, pretty much like everybody, I'm sure, and then very quickly I'll be doing a reaction video to it. It might not be the same day. It might be the next day because of the time, and we got some horrifically early starts, so I've got to go to bed early. But yeah, there we are. So may not be on Tuesday, but hopefully by Wednesday I can get something out to you. Right, it's flashing even quicker now, so I'm going to leave it there. That's about 15 minutes anyway, I think. Look out on the channel for quite a few reviews and things like that going. I might even do some updates on the Spitfire as I go along, Spitfires as I go along, just as a bit of a teaser. And yeah, looking forward to having this one in primer, putting that to one side and cracking on with the bubble top, because I'm loving these things and I've learned a lot from doing this one, so I can apply those lessons into the next one. There we are. Right, yeah, look out on the channel for the Airfix DIT, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, bye-bye.